My name's Hank Wynn, and I've been a Christian for 2 years.
Well, my name's Craig Norrell, and I've been a Christian now for 6 months.
I'm Lauren Jones, and I've been a Christian since I was 16, and I'm 49, for those of you who want to do the math.
Coming into faith fairly late in life, I guess. I grew up in a family that went to church occasionally, but it wasn't a big part of our family. Through most of high school, college, I consider myself a non-believer, particularly later in college, and then really starting in medical school. My journey with our church here started when I was invited to hear Ann Craddock sing solo during one of our Christmas services, and it basically turned into I went that Sunday and then went the next Sunday, and basically for a year I came every Sunday. I found myself more and more involved and hooked until I started realizing that the reason I wasn't feeling a part of this experience was more my fault than anything else, and I realized that God was just waiting for me to take that step and say, you know, here's your new life, and are you ready for it? And that's when I decided to become baptized and become a Christian.
I was immersed the end of June here at White Station. It was the kind of like, you know, culmination of a long journey for me. My first memory was just a longing and a sense of God and a longing for church. Went, you know, off and on, sprinkled at age 10, I believe. Then went through my teens, going off and on again with my mother. Then in my 20s, and things just kind of ventured off into a whole nother, you know, avenue of life. The result of that avenue was ending up in a inpatient treatment center when I was 29 years old, and spent 30 days. Really there, that is when I really knew that God entered my life. I know now that even back then I had a sense and a longing for God and a, you know, yearning, if you will, to seek more. As I look back on it now, I knew there was something special about White Station and about this church. God certainly answered that, you know, calling. And again, that's just proof that, you know, God works.
I am a Jewish girl who became a Christian at 16, and my sister was the first one to convert. And in a family of Jews in New York, it was a big deal. I studied from age 12 to 16 because when I decided I wanted to become a Christian, I thought I needed to be at a mature age where my parents couldn't say that I wasn't mature enough. And I remember being on a plane coming from a trip with my sister and thinking about the verses about putting God first. And when I had realized that I wanted to make that change, what if the plane crashed and God thought that I didn't put him first? Well, as you can tell, the plane did not crash. It was one of the best days of my life to give myself to Christ. And I haven't looked back since.
The whole experience of regular church friends and Bible study was all a new experience for me, and that's been wonderful. Being a member of the church family now brings me into contact with new people every day.
I can remember when Rodney immersed me in, you know, coming up. It was a feeling of just total joy and bliss, and I remember you just sense a full, you know, presence of God. I'm so grateful for this church and for this body, and it's always learning and it's always growing, and you're never too young or you're never too old.
I thought becoming a Christian, you would just feel refreshed and new all the time. I didn't know it had to deal with all this heart stuff. So as I have gotten older, I realized that God works with that newness every minute of every day. Being new with Christ, I'm a new creation, and I'm forgiven
Because one thing that I didn't expect, especially as an outsider coming in to the Church of Christ family, was how interconnected it is, and how small of a world it seems when you have a family as large as ours.
My total joy, really, and surprise in this aspect means joy, is just the relationship, not only with God, but finding more of God and about God through people here at White Station. Just the way people have made me feel at home and made us feel, and with my wife, and this journey back here with her, overwhelming surprise to me is the love and the way people have reached out, and how much that there are just so many wonderful people here.
I think what is a surprise is to know in our walk with Christ that being forgiven, which we bring up a lot, but being truly forgiven means everything.
And when you see other people experiencing that freshness, that newness, it re-energizes you. Not being a Christian, you have all the extra help you need, and you're never in a situation where God's not there to help you take that last step.
All of the things that we do and reach out, to me, that's a way that we can keep this word and the faith and freshness and newness.
When we think about the newness of Christ and the freshness and the excitement of having that relationship with Christ, that we need to make it more fun. I feel like we need to have some more creative chances to invite the world into our church and help them see what we have.
I think it's really important to have a church that's actively involved in our community.
If we can just keep doing the things we're doing as a church, I think we'll keep moving forward, and it'll be wonderful.